They start on the ground here at Sanders. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. Newton now to throw. He's got White here. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Here's Newton. And Sanders has got it complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 56 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's first and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Here's second and goal operating from the 8-yard line.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Go. Come on, let's go. 53 to Mike. 53 to Mike.
To throw is Newton. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's third and goal.
44 to Mike. 400. Here we go. Get off the field. 44. Mike, 44. Hey, watch the screen. Great. Watch the screen.
A shotgun snap for Newton. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. From 8 yards out. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh. Night, sweetheart.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go on second and 12. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, here we go. Watch it. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, first down. Rolling to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Josh Allen. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Can't fight it. He lost the football. It's out, and the Jags grab it. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
20.
To throw again. Newton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Great. 53. 8. Switch up. 20.
Out of the gun, Newton. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Taken in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6.
Go. 50, plant.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Callaway. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
8-3. Pilot, 64, weak.
An 8-yard loss on the play. It's now 3rd down.
55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Callaway. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Match box, right.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Mike, 51.
Here's Elliott. And he's got room. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. From the 50, Newton. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch twist. Hey.
And some room to maneuver. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll get in. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell.
It's caught inside the 25. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 53 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
We got this.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 at the 6-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Check cross, check cross, check cross. Check 9, check 9. Hard. Big grip.
Elliott. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
6-6, pull it high. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Looking to throw. Callaway. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
We go. 60 outlaw. Go. Ready.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Lambo will put this one through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Gun. He's going. We got double up. Alert flag. Come on.
Throwing again. Newton. Throw left side complete. It's Bailey. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. On 1st down, Sanders. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Newton. Forced out to his left. And that's complete to Sanders. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I got it. Watch out. Eight. Here we go.
Newton to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
2nd and 10, Newton again. Escaping the pressure. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Right here.
So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turned that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Go. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Switch now.
To throw on second down. Callaway. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
That's good for Jaguars. First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Let's go. 10 logo. Check 55. Mike. I'm coming for you, son. Let's go.
10th carry now for Elliott. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Man. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Switch. Check 99.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Kill. Turn up. Check it.
They'll try again with Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So here we go on a third and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet.
Hatchet.
Back to throw. Callaway to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps a deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter.
Mike, 53. 53. 8. I can't believe they let you play. Go. Get it.
Newton on first down. He'll buy some time right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Newton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd and a long way to go. Newton looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bailey. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 87 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. 2nd and 10. That's Elliott, complete. It's a gain of 7, and just like that, it's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense.
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Gun. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They start on the ground with Elliott. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Jaguars on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Callaway. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. That punt returns 66 yards, and it goes the distance. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
It's the fourth quarter, partner, and everyone's looking for a hero in the fourth quarter. They just found theirs.
There's so much for the offense coming out, trying to mount that go-ahead drive. They get it right there on the punt return.
And a punt return play can change the momentum so many different ways and maybe put a team in command.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a gain.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. From the gun, Callaway. Buying time to his left. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe.
And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. This is Elliott. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. That one complete to Elliott. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. Nice pickup for a 1st down.
Elliott on 1st down going absolutely nowhere as he'll lose about 3 on the play. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Hey, Haywood! Check 55 to Mike. Check 55.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Callaway. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now a whistle and a timeout defensively. Trying to stop it, and they do with 2 seconds to go prior to the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Gun. Mike,
Throwing is Newton. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
Check 43. Watch the safety creep. Check 24. Check 24. Tight dog. Check 3.
On 1st down, it's Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's Sanders, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Detroit, they move. And they'll get another road.